Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this is not working. It ain't working without y'all, so thank you for being here and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. I am here busting tail, and I tell you what, I don't want to say that I feel smart, but I feel smart because I have figured out ways of taking, this is a 2-car garage here, and it's my workshop, and to put out as much stuff as I can. It's a small workshop, but it's about maximizing what you have to the fullest ability. Excuse me. So, I know some of y'all get tired of listening to me running on before I get to the subject here, but I'm kind of proud of myself because, see, here's what I did. Look at this. I made it so before I could only get about 6 or 7 footballs up here to dry. Now I can paint, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. I'm doubling the output. So I got that over there, and look over here. Look at look at this. You see all these? These are all ones that are getting ready to get boxed up and shipped out of here. I mean, look, we got the Bears, we got our Cowboys, boom. And then we got the reverse of it. Look at that, boom. And I'm working on some two-faced ones over there as well. So it's about figuring out what works to make the job easier. And I'm sitting here watching the cow herd. And it reminded me of something I heard yesterday on Speak for Yourself. Speak for Yourself was talking about playoffs, and they were saying that the road through the NFC is much tougher because you've got Hall of Fame quarterbacks like future Hall of Fame quarterbacks like Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers and stuff, and Mathew Stafford. And I was like, the fuck are you talking about? Mathew Stafford, Hall of Famer? Because I'm sitting here, what about Mathew Stafford makes him a Hall of Famer? He doesn't have a single playoff win. And I'm like, are you on crack or something? So I hear that Mathew Stafford is either he's just passed or he's about to hit 50,000 yards passing, which is actually, I have to say, freaking incredible. That's a lot of yards. And that he'll end up doing it faster than anyone else. And I was just like, okay. Does that hit anybody else? Because I'm remembering how it used to be Dak is a dink and dunk quarterback. Dinking and dunking, dinking and dunking. Even though they were winning, they were dinking and dunking. Mind you, Joe Montana dinked and dunked his way to the Pro Football Hall of Fame and several Super Bowls. Then last year, when Dak was throwing for like 400 yards a game and stuff like that, do you remember what they called it? Anybody else remember what they were calling it? Garbage time. They said Dak Prescott is a garbage time quarterback. And by that they mean garbage time is the game is no longer in doubt. You've lost it. Okay? You're behind. And you're throwing the ball against soft defenses. And they said that Dak Prescott, his yards are just garbage time. It don't matter. And typically, when you're behind big in a game, second half you're throwing the ball more than you're running because you're behind. Right? Do y'all remember that? So I want to go back here and I want to visit this. Now, don't get me wrong. Passing for 50,000 yards in the NFL, it's rare. It's hard to do. And the fact that he's done 50,000 yards is freaking insane. But, if we say that Dak Prescott throwing for 400 yards coming back from Atlanta Falcons in a win, if people say that that's garbage time, with Mathew Stafford being with the Lions and having, of course, a Hall of Fame wide receiver in Megatron, and constantly being behind, because Lord knows I spent about 12 Thanksgivings there in Ford Field watching them, watching Michael Vick go off, watching Peyton Manning throw 6 TDs, watching Aaron Rodgers, literally watching the who's who of NFL quarterbacks light up the Lions every Thanksgiving. And also thinking about some of those seasons that they had 3 or 4 wins. Is it safe to say that a lot of those games were blowouts, that they had to pass the ball more than they ran the ball? Is it actually safe to say that a lot of those 50,000 yards were garbage time yards? Not that it matters, because I could look and say Drew Brees, who their team had, I think, 5 or 6 7-9 seasons, that you could technically say a lot of the yards that Drew Brees had were garbage time yards. I'm not saying this to sully Drew Brees. I'm not saying this to sully Mathew Stafford. I'm just saying this to point out the hypocrisy and the different levels of the way that Dak Prescott is graded. Because I just watched Colin Cowherd. Who, to his credit, I have to give him a little bit of credit. He said, 50,000 yards, fastest in history. He said, but weren't some of those games blowout games and they would have passed more? Which is close. It's close to what they said about Dak Prescott. But it's not exactly the same as saying Dak Prescott is just a garbage time quarterback, as it is to say Mathew Stafford, well, a lot of those yards might have been in blowouts. Anybody else see what I'm talking about here? Yeah. So when they tell you, well, Dak Prescott, slump. Dak Prescott, he can't do it. Dak Prescott, he's not elite. Let me go back to this for a second. Because they said Dak Prescott, he's not elite like Russell Wilson. Because a franchise quarterback can elevate their team to win without people around him. If that is the case, then how come the Seattle Seahawks are where they are right now? How is it that Russell Wilson can't elevate the team because he, as we say, is one of the best quarterbacks in football? If he is one of the best football quarterbacks, then how come he is not elevating the team? And let me ask another one then. With Tom Brady, and it's hard to say that Tom Brady is not the GOAT. Tom Brady, who's won more Super Bowls than any other player ever. Tom Brady, who is still great at his age. How come they didn't score a single point this past week? What I've been hearing all week is, they're injured. Mike Evans went out. Chris Godwin lost the season. Fournette. Oh, so you mean you do actually have to have players on the field to win? I just want you to think about that the next time they come up with a new way to sully Dak Prescott. Be it dinking and dunking, which Tom Brady did in the first part of his career, winning Super Bowls as well as Joe Montana. To garbage time, when they praise Mathew Stafford, to he needs people around him because right now, Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, they're not winning without people around him either. Anyway, I'm going to get back to work here. I'm going to cut these pieces up, and then I'm going to go in. I got to check my email because I know somebody wants to get five mini Joe Bartys. So I'm cutting them up right now and getting those together. So I'll send you the invoice real quick, and then I'm going to come back out here, assemble these pieces of paint, and we'll do a live stream. All right?